Good afternoon, scholars in both hard and soft sciences in this gathering. I am Joseph A. Tubel, a PhD candidate of Philippine Christian University. I am currently connected with Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. Being a performance specialist in the company, this gives me an interest to conduct a study entitled When the Assurance Management System Matters, Industry Performance, Level of Implementation for Critical Asset, a mixed method study. The co-authors of this research are Dr. Alexander S. Acosta, Dr. Amy E. Acosta, Dr. Ivy Corazon Magayaay, Dr. Merijin Alvero, and Dr. Eduardo P. Malagapo. The background of the study: offshore clients from oil and gas will charge 10,000 to 15,000 US dollars per day for any delay of each offshore supply vessel, whereas the airline industry will charge 25,000 US dollars to the facilities company in every 15 minutes of every plane delay for takeoff. Offshore rigs will lose 100,000 barrels per day of production for any unexpected shutdown. However, authority will impose huge amount of penalties in every time waste management treatment made a violation on the contractual values. The critical asset effectiveness in the hospital are more can be seen in biomedical equipment by how they serve more patient and outcome of the result of their diagnostics. Critical assets are the gateway to the industry. It is its failure which is seen to be potentially disastrous. There are 272 out of 773 occurrences which is related to critical assets failure, whereas assurance management is an integral component of critical asset. Therefore, asset performance measurement is essential to achieve the desired business objectives. Now, why mixed methods? In order to establish a broader view that calls for further explanation of the quantitative phase with the qualitative phase. It identifies related factors that influence selected industries' performance by implementation of assurance management system. It sought to redefine the meaning of industry performance as evidenced by the findings and result of the study. Now, in the research questions, there are three parts of the research questions. The first part is the quantitative phase or the phase one of the study, wherein the hypothesis question stated that the predictors significantly determine global industry performance. The second part is the qualitative phase, which adapting phenomenology as the research design in the qualitative phase, which answer the central question how the respondents characterize high performance assurance management system in integrated maintenance management system implementation. The central questions for mixed methods design that these were the emphasis of creating from quantitative phase, which is determinants of the relevant factors that influence industry performance, and from qualitative phase, which is describing the lived experiences of industry specialists. When we combine both the quantitative and the qualitative results of the study to expand the findings in the mixed methods, we came up with the central question: how do respondents determine and characterize high performance assurance management system and integrated maintenance management system implementation? Theoretical perspective. There are three models selected in this research study. Now, these three models or three theories were chosen to support the researchers' overview and understanding of the global industry's performance underlying factors that introduce enhancement consistent with the ideas of the fundamentals of physical asset management as characterized by management practices, performance appraisal practices, life cycle management practices, and policy and strategy practices. Now, the conceptual framework of the study, it was structured based on the combination of the three theories which I have mentioned earlier, and along with the review of related literature wherein the five predictors of performance are determined. The scope and limitations of the study, it is limited only to the United Arab Emirates, wherein the chosen industry performance has been selected from different industry within the region. The research design is the sequential explanatory mixed methods which is used in this study. There are two distinctive phases which consist of the sequential approaches, the quantitative phase preceded by the qualitative approach. Now, in phase one or the quantitative phase, data were collected from 102 respondents from selected industry practitioners. We use purposive sampling in this approach through an online survey questionnaire using Google Form along with the consent request to the respondents. Then, we collected and analyzed to get the results. Data collected have been further analyzed by descriptive frequency, correlation, bootstrap regression using the R software. Now, in qualitative phase or the phase two of the study, qualitative semi-structured questionnaire has been formulated, the use of purposeful sampling. 11 technical experts were chosen from phase one, wherein transcription of data from audio to text, profiling of the respondents using RoboPhoto, transcribing from EMIC to ETIC, transcription, thematizing to find the emerging themes, creating simulacrum to reflect the relationship of the emerging themes, and we did the member checking for validity check. Now, integration, mixing of the results, which is further explained in joint display and meta-inference diagram. The quantitative results, which is further explained by the qualitative results, then through discussion from different literature. From the phase one of the study, which is the quantitative phase, research questions has been divided into three: the level of implementation of the assurance management system. The second is the significant relationship between the predictors and the global industry performance. And the third is the hypothesis questions, which find out the significant relationship among the predictors to the global industry performance. As the results and the findings of the frequency and percentage analysis, all the all the five predictors showed high level of implementations in terms of leadership engagement, operational compliance, business threat and strategy, human capital management, and the integrated maintenance management system. Now, as part of the correlations, the result revealed that the five predictors is highly correlated to global industry performance, wherein the result is ranging from 0.690 to 0.855 with a p-value less than 0.01. In the regression analysis, out of five predictors, only one predictor significantly determined global industry performance. and that is the Integrated Maintenance Management System. Summary of the findings: most of the company has experienced a high level of implementations of 65.7%. Most of the respondents have college degrees within more than 16 years of experience. Top management level of implementation within the organization is 95%. There is a high correlation among the predictors, ranging from 0.690 to 0.855. Now, the hypothesis: integrated maintenance management system significantly determine global industry performance, wherein the performance level contributed by the implementation of integrated maintenance management system with 55.4%. Now, in the qualitative phase or phase two of the study, which answered to the central questions: how the respondents characterize high performance assurance management system and integrated maintenance management system implementation. We created the robo photo or the profile of the respondents, which has been purposefully selected. Then, based on the analysis, we come up with the three emerging themes. These are the generative process, the competitive process, and the preventive process. These results further explain the relationship of these three emerging themes into a cyclical process and displayed in the simulacrum. So the phenomenological analysis revealed with these three emerging themes: the generative process, the competitive process, and the preventive process through a CAMSCA, or the process of the assurance management system of critical asset. Now, integration of results. The quantitative results showed that systematic approach as one of the component of integrated maintenance management system is further explained by the generative process as one of the emerging theme. The second part is the capacity development, which leads to the enhanced global industry performance as one of the component of integrated maintenance management system, further explained by the competitive process as one of the emerging theme. The third is the enhancement program, which leads to better global industry performance, further explained by the preventive process as the third emerging theme. Now, this is further explained through a meta-inference diagram. The findings of the two strands were integrated to create meta-inferences with the purpose of providing more complete and insightful answers to the research questions. It further explained the quantitative result, which is further explained by the qualitative results, which is solicited from different previous studies cited from different authors, thus providing additional validity checks to secure more credible and develop meaningful outcome of the study. Now, in the first meta-inference, there is a complementary of the findings between quantitative and qualitative phase, because we found out that in the quantitative, the results of the regression analysis findings revealed that there is an approach. The qualitative phase has expanded its findings that it is an approach. It means that there is a process. So in the quantitative phase, the results showed that systematic approach is the best practice that leads to outstanding maintenance performance. This result is further expanded in the qualitative phase. Thus, the qualitative interview revealed that to successfully implement a systematic approach, a generative process is needed. As averred by one of the respondents, this is to ensure good performance and readiness of the critical assets in order to protect the property, employee safety, and also to ensure business continuity. Combining together the result from quantitative phase and the qualitative phase, it gives us that the asset continues to do its function as intended. Now, the second meta-inference result between the capacity development wherein the result revealed that it can gain a competitive advantage to an organization, contribution to organizational capability and growth. This is further explained in the qualitative phase through a competitive process that the follow-up interview of the respondents believe that it translates high productivity to strengthen the overall performance of the organization. As articulated by one of the respondents, and he said, one way is the training and experiences we have already acquired. That is why training comes, which is very important, as reflected on the training plan requirement from maintenance team. Capacity development and competitive process must go together to ensure companies edge over the other. The third strand is that the enhancement program and the preventive process. The result in the quantitative phase found out that enhancement program adopts a new advancement in maintenance that brings significant savings in operating costs. This is further revealed in phase 2 or in the qualitative phase, and it is also further stretched that there is a preventive process. In the in-depth interview of the participants representing different industry believe that preventive process is practical approach for reliability enhancement. As mused by one of the respondents, since we are maintaining the asset in the hospital, the critical asset effectiveness are more which can be seen in biomedical equipment in the way how we serve more patients as evidence in the result of their diagnostics of which utilities are secondary only. The quantitative and the qualitative phase has further ensured that this study underwent strong and rigorous research medical processes. Now, summarily, sequential exploratory mixed methods, which begins from quantitative phase, expanded to qualitative phase, has further ensured that this study underwent the strong and rigorous research of which the findings contribute to the novelty of this research product, of what is known and what is not known. Limited resources of literature about critical asset management that the researcher went through. The novelty of this paper enriches the functionality of the critical asset management system is all about by adapting the AMSCA process and the AMSCA framework. This study will bring change to the policy framework in global industry, maybe in business, in social sciences, in safety, in oil gas industry, in offshore operations, and other business aspects. The philosophical assumption. The researcher would like to reinforce industry performance to ensure critical asset functionality through reliability and business continuity. It touches the ontological and epistemological aspect of the study, thus structuring the best practices in the industry to achieve high performance in the assurance management system. It further reveals new insight as an approach to guiding stakeholders in the industry. Contribution to mixed methods research. The study contributes to mixed methods research as the tool to redefine assurance management system of critical asset in the industry. Furthermore, this mixed method study uncovers the global industry's newest contribution in the critical asset management adopting the CAMSCA process and the AMSCA framework. This study has contributed to the dearth of available literature of the critical asset management system. Conclusion, elucidating how performance is connected to systematic approach such as the generative process, capacity development through a competitive process, and enhancement program by the preventive process. There is enough evidence that the existing industry practices are directed towards utilizing this framework. Systematically adapting the cyclical assurance management system of critical asset and the assurance management system for critical asset framework offers industry stakeholders and top management the confidence and assurance that critical asset management and the asset management policy are well maintained, duly monitored, and regularly reviewed and updated. So based on the conclusions, the recommendation has been drawn. The asset management team shall implement systematic approach to the generative process, capacity development through a competitive process, enhancement program by the preventive process wherein performance is connected to. Adopt the structured approach through the AMSCA process and the AMSCA framework. Top management commitment in enhancing the asset management policy is very important and vital to the organization. Now, this paper, the phenomenological article, it has been accepted to International Journal of Science of Scientific and Technology Research. The mixed method study, it was submitted to Journal of Mixed Methods Research, which is undergone for peer review, and the three more articles to be submitted for international publication. These are the list of references. Before I end my presentation, I will give this one to you. It is always better to commit a minute in your business than to lose your business in a minute. Thank you so much.